Why hello there! How are you doing today? My name's Emma, I'm the Bookish Princess. Welcome. If you're new around here, I hope you'll give this video a thumbs up and subscribe down below. So today, I am planning and packing for a Walt Disney World trip, and I thought I'd bring you guys along for the fun. I've done a bunch of packing videos here on YouTube in the past. I'll make sure I link them in the description, and I'm sure they'll be popping up above as well. But this year, I thought I would break it up into 3 different videos. I'm going to be telling you all about my Disney wardrobe, which is always one of my favorite parts. Planning what to wear on a Disney trip is half the fun. Then I'm also going to be doing a Disney packing essentials video. Those 2 are coming up. But today, in our first video of the series, I'm going to be telling you what I put in my travel makeup bag. If that sounds interesting, keep watching. So I should probably start this out by saying I am not a makeup guru by any means. I feel like everything I've learned through YouTube, thanks to like beauty videos on YouTube. I don't know what it is about those makeup tutorials and like the monthly favorites, but there's something just very relaxing about them. You know, like for 5 minutes, all I'm going to think about is my makeup. After that, I'll come back to the real world and tackle any problems. But for now, all that matters is the contour right, or is the crease blended, or whatever it is. I'm not very up on all the makeup terms. So if I'm not using all these products perfectly correctly, or if I'm not describing something right, I apologize in advance. But I do enjoy doing my makeup, especially at Disney, because I of course do a ton of vlogs. It's fun to look nice for the pictures, especially if you're gonna be posing alongside the princesses. They have like the coolest makeup, and Lady Tremaine and the stepsisters, they also have fabulous makeup. In one of my Disney vlogs that I posted a few weeks ago, I met Anastasia and Drizella, the 2 evil stepsisters at the Magic Kingdom, and I was asking them about their eyeshadow because it was like so intense and perfectly matched their dresses, and Anastasia tells me that it's all natural. It just seeps out of their pores, perfectly matching their outfits because they're Lady Tremaine's daughters, so of course everything about them is perfect. They were pretty fantabulous stepsisters. I'll link that video here so you can check it out. Anyway, you might not want your makeup look to be as crazy and like neon pink or neon lime as Anastasia and Drizella, but I know I enjoy some sparkly eyeshadow, a nice lipstick. So that's what we're gonna be chatting about today. Now, I don't actually have a huge amount of makeup. In fact, almost all of my makeup is stored in this box right here. So I thought we would just pack the makeup bag together. This is the travel makeup bag I usually use. It's by Vera Bradley. I feel like you guys have seen it in videos before. I like it because it's lined with plastic on the inside, so it's easy to clean. It's got one big pocket, and then it's got like holders for brushes and a zippered pocket right there. So let's start with first things first. I have a couple things back here that don't fit in the box. One of them are these makeup wipes. They're Garnier Skin Active Micellar makeup removing towelettes. I really have been enjoying this Garnier Micellar water. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I always think makeup wipes are just really easy and really quick when you travel because they're simple for the plane, they don't take up space in your liquids bag, and sometimes when you do bring like a liquid makeup remover, it gets open and it's really oily, so it like gets everything. I'm looking forward to trying these on our trip. If you like to wear nail polish, you should definitely bring some of those little nail polish removal pads because they are so much easier than like a whole bottle of nail polish remover. And if you're gonna be wearing nail polish, what if that nail polish doesn't match every single outfit? What if it gets cracked? So I always like to wear white nail polish on my Disney trips. It just somehow became a tradition. I think it looks really fresh and pretty. It matches everything. The white nail polish I have at the moment is the OPI nail lacquer. OPI is like the expensive nail polish that they use at salons, and I got this one time when it was on sale just because I was curious, like, is this any better than normal nail polish? For me, I'm not sure it is. Next time I'll probably go back to the cheap nail polish, but it's been fun to try. You'll see with my makeup in general, there's definitely a mix. For the most part, I feel like I stick to drugstore just because it gets so expensive at Sephora or Ulta when you go to like the more expensive brands, and they're really beautiful and I'm sure they're great, but it's like if the $8 one works just as well as the $38 one, then probably I should buy the $8 one. So I have a couple things that I try to like clean and then put back in my makeup bag at the end of every trip, so they're just there and ready for the next time. I always try to remember to put in some Q-tips because those are great, especially if you make a mistake with your cat eye, which I often do. I also have a couple little makeup brushes in here that are just like miniature brushes. I really like these. They're so colorful. I found them at a Superdrug when I was in England last summer. They're by a brand called Lottie London, and they're just very bright and colorful and cute. I am always torn when I travel though. It's like, should I bring my nice regular size brushes or should I just rely on the tiny ones? And they don't take up that much space, so I do usually bring like a couple of them. I got this set, my mini topiary took a dive. I got this set of Tarte brushes last Christmas. Whenever I do buy things at Sephora or Ulta, it's usually at the holidays because they have all those gift sets that are usually a little bit cheaper than things normally are. Really loved the Tarte brushes. This is just 2 of them. It came with like 4 or 5, and most of them were double-ended like this, which I actually really like because then it's just one thing to remember. This eyeshadow brush especially, I just love. It's got a fluffy end for kind of blending and then a thicker end, which is really good for like putting the darker color in your crease. I just feel like the shape of it puts it in there perfectly. So I probably will end up bringing 1 or 2 of my full-size brushes along with the travel brushes. So when you're traveling, especially somewhere like Disney World where it's really hot and you're gonna be sweaty and walking around a ton, you really want your makeup to last because you probably won't be stopping back at your hotel room to like touch things up. And I honestly feel like I still haven't quite gotten there with like the perfect combination of makeup that, you know, lasts all day, because of course I don't want it to be like all cakey. So if you guys have any suggestions of products that you love that like last all day in heat and humidity, definitely make sure you leave them for me in the comments below. I don't actually have a primer at the moment. I need to get one before I go. This is empty. It's the Becca Backlight Priming Filter. This is a more expensive one. I've heard a lot about it on YouTube, and I just thought I'd give it a try. I don't think I'll be repurchasing though. It was a fun product to use. I'm just not sure like it worked really well. Like I don't think it really did help my makeup stay on any longer. Next time I'll probably be going back to just a drugstore primer. One that I've enjoyed in the past is just the basic like Neutrogena primer. The Neutrogena primer does have sunscreen built into it, which is always great, but that's one thing that I don't have right here, but is always an important first step in your getting ready for a Disney day: sunscreen. I know you want a tan, I always want a tan too, but you also don't want skin cancer. So it's really important to get a good, powerful sunscreen and make sure you apply that before you put on your makeup, because if you have to put it on after you put on your makeup, that's a major pain. Like even the Neutrogena primer, it just has 15 SPF, which I'm not sure if that's enough. The sunscreen we often use is like 30 or 50 SPF. Anyway, don't forget your sunscreen. Primer, obviously, I need to think about. For foundations, I have 2 favorite foundations. Oh gosh, this one is starting to run low. This one actually has 15 SPF as well. When you put a 15 SPF product on top of another 15 SPF product, it's still just 15 SPF, right? It doesn't add up to 30. Like that would be nice if it worked that way, but I don't think it does. This foundation is the Revlon Color Stay Combination Oily. It does say right there 24-hour wear. This definitely has been the best foundation I've found so far for lasting all day, like really doing a good job of staying on your face. I do think of this though as more of like a heavy coverage. With foundation, when you have like a more heavy coverage one, like it covers up any blemishes and all that, but the problem is it also like makes your face one uniform shade. I feel like all faces naturally have different shades. It starts to look like a mask when it's all like the exact same color because of a foundation. So when I don't need a fuller coverage, or maybe I don't have as many blemishes or red spots to cover up, I really like this one. This is L'Oreal Paris 24-hour foundation. This is Infallible Pro Glow. This does paint your face like all one color, and then I feel like you have to go in with, you know, blush or contour a little bit just to make your face look less like a ghost and more like a human being. But this foundation is really light. I feel like you can still see your skin underneath it. Like this, you could just kind of put this on and go. It wouldn't make you look like a ghost. I'll probably bring both of these to Disney as long as I have room in my liquids bag, which I think I will. But it is kind of nice to have like a choice of 2, and I really like both of these. All right, next up, we have concealer. This one is getting really low, so I probably won't end up bringing this on the trip. I was watching some YouTube beauty video where they were saying that when you combine different products, like from different lines, like you use a foundation and a concealer that are from 2 totally different brands, they might not be formulated to work together. Like the ingredients in the products might not get along, so it might not last as long on your face. After I watched that, I decided I would buy the Revlon Color Stay Concealer, which is the one that goes with this Color Stay foundation. I do think they worked well together, although I've now found a new favorite concealer. This is a high-end one. It's the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. There was so much buzz about this on YouTube when it came out, and it was like impossible to find in stores. Sephora doesn't sell it, Ulta sells it. I still have never seen it in stock in an Ulta. I had to order this one online, but I actually do really, really love it. Such a creamy consistency. It smells really nice, which, let's be real, makeup is half about the aesthetic. Putting on your makeup is like a mini spa day, so you want your products to smell nice and feel nice and look nice. I also really love the wand on this. The applicator on this is such a nice size, and it just goes on so nicely. So this is one of those products that I might actually get a second one of. Like, I'd be willing to splurge a little bit on this guy. In case you're wondering, this is the Fair Neutral shade. What else are we gonna wanna bring? I do have one of these sponges. Do you guys like these sponges? This one I got for free with an Ulta order one time. Especially for foundation and concealer, I just use my fingers, like, you know, you wash your hands. I feel like anything else, you end up losing so much of the product, especially with a sponge, because think about it, a sponge is meant to absorb things. So like, it absorbs a whole bunch of your product, and then the product is stuck in the sponge and you just end up washing it out down the drain. Yeah, I don't know, maybe I just haven't gotten the hang of it, but I'm not a huge fan of sponges. Also, if you're traveling, it's one less thing you have to bring. You know, you can just use your fingers to blend. So since we've kind of been going through the skin face products first, we might as well move on to powder. So this is the Revlon Color Stay Powder. I thought I'd just buy all three to see if they work well together. They do. I feel like the powder is supposed to help your makeup stay on longer. I'm not sure I found the perfect one that really does help it stay on all day, but I have liked the Color Stay powder. It's worked well. This one I actually have not liked. It's the Laura Mercier powder, which again, I heard talked about a lot on YouTube, so I was like, oh, this would be fun to try. It was more expensive, so it was a splurge. I've had it for a long time, mostly because I just haven't used it a lot. I don't know, I just don't feel like it works very well. I also have realized I'm not a fan of the loose powders. Like, you open this and the powder goes everywhere. It's just not very easy to apply, so definitely will not be buying this one again. Also, it's kind of a larger size, so not very convenient for traveling. I am thinking of buying a makeup like setting spray. I'm thinking maybe that would help, you know, your makeup stay in place, especially on a Florida day. I'm sure I will be bringing this. This is the Anastasia Brow Definer. So it's for your eyebrows. Basically, it's got just a little brush so you can brush out your eyebrows, and then on the other end, it's got an eyebrow pen. I really like the kind of triangular angled shape of this one. If you watch my makeup tutorial that I did a few years ago for like, you know, makeup to wear in the Disney parks, this will look familiar. It's just my favorite eyeliner. It's by L'Oreal Paris. It's the Infallible Black Buster. It just has a really nice like tapered tip, so it's easy to put on. It's easy to do like a little bit of a flick or a cat eye if you want to do that. I've tried a couple other eyeliners, but I always find myself coming back to this one. So definitely gonna be putting this in my travel makeup bag. I've never been able to decide if eye primer makes a big difference or not. I do have two eye primers here. This one is by NARS. This other one is by Lorac. You know, I do use these. I'm not sure that they make a huge difference though, and especially if I'm traveling and, you know, I don't have a huge amount of space in my makeup bag or in my liquids bag for a flight. I feel like these are things that I might leave behind, and then I might just like use a little bit of concealer or a little bit of foundation to kind of prime my eyes before putting on the eyeshadow. Speaking of eyeshadow, I have to say eyeshadow palettes are probably my favorite thing to buy, and that's probably why I have 3 of them. I love using them, and I love like mixing and matching. So the first one here is Tartelette by Tarte. All these shades are matte, and they're all just really pretty. Gentle grays, browns, purples, and pinks. I also really like the mirror on this palette. If you're traveling, it's just a really big giant mirror that comes in really handy. And then this is the Lorac Pro palette. This is the one that the eyeshadow primer came with. This is a mix of sparkly and matte shades, just really pretty. It has like a green in there and a blue. I always match my makeup to my outfit. So this is a fun one to have. It's also very slim, so it's good to travel with. And this one, I just love this one. I had my eye on it for a while, and then I got it as a Christmas present. It's the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette. It smells like chocolate, and of course all the different shades are very chocolatey and named after desserts and things. I have one other eyeshadow palette back here. It won't fit in the box. It's Sephora a few years ago did like a Minnie Mouse line of makeup, and this was the eyeshadow palette. It came in this little clutch. There's just such a fun array of like colors that you wouldn't really expect, like a bright pink, bright yellow, blue, kind of minty green. Unfortunately, this is not very travel friendly. You can pop this whole plate out of the clutch, and it has no cover. I did actually one time bring it and I put it in a giant plastic bag, but it wasn't a very manageable size. I do have one little palette in here. It's the Tartelette Tease, and it's got just 6 little shades, but it is a very nice size for traveling. I try to bring like maybe this one and one other palette when I'm traveling, and it's always hard to decide. I also generally go for a palette when it comes to, you know, blushes and bronzers and highlighters, just because then you have everything all together. So I have 2 palettes here. This first one was one of those Christmas palettes from a few years ago. It's the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Edit. I love this one so much. I love all the different shades in it. It's got 2 blushers. I think that's supposed to be a bronzer. And then it's got some different lighting powders. I've always used them as highlighters, but I was watching a video on the Sephora YouTube channel the other day. They have some really fun makeup artists and hosts that they bring on. And they were saying that these Hourglass powders are sometimes meant to be used as a finishing powder. Like you're meant to put it all over your face, not just, you know, as a highlighter. So I'll have to try that sometime. I feel like this is the one I usually go for when I'm traveling. But I did also cave and buy the Jaclyn Hill Becca palette. This is another one that I heard all about on YouTube. This is a little big to be traveling with, but it does have a really, really nice mirror. This has 3 different blushes and 2 highlighters. These highlighters though are like, whoa baby, unapologetic highlighters. It's the Champagne Pop and Prosecco Pop. Of course, they all have fabulous names. I did recently get this little blush. This is by Benefit. It's the Dandelion blush. You know the checkout line at Sephora where they have all the really cute little like travel sized items. This is where I picked this up. I had a Benefit blush a while ago that I used up, but getting this made me realize how much I like Benefit blushes. I love the little brush that comes with it. I'll probably just bring one mascara. I have 2 here. This is the L'Oreal Paris Telescopic Mascara. I bought this mainly because I like the packaging. And then when I found what the brush looked like, I really didn't like it. Like it's got this really long, just unusual mascara brush. However, I have to say, it is like telescopic. It really does lengthen your lashes kind of incredibly, so I haven't gotten rid of it because it does work really well. I also really love this Benefit Roller Lash. This is the little travel size. It's so cute, so I might end up bringing this one. This has the nice curved brush. I do have some I guess eye creams. I'm not sure what these are technically. One of them is the Sephora Colorful Shadow and Liner. It's in this fabulous lime green shade, and the other is a Maybelline New York Color Tattoo in Gold Rush. These are really easy to apply. You can kind of just literally color them on your eyelids. Especially the Sephora ones are such crazy colors. They just add some fun to your Disney look. One thing that we haven't talked about yet is, of course, lipstick. My lipsticks are right here. Whenever this little jar fills up, I like won't let myself buy any more lipsticks. It's like, I don't need more lipsticks than can fit in this jar. These are both actually Revlon lipsticks. This one is the Ultra HD Matte Lip Color series, and then this other one is the Revlon Color Burst Matte Balm. This one, of course, is like a giant crayon. I just really like that style. I think it applies really nicely. This also has just a really nice applicator brush. It's like got this cool kind of flat shape. I sometimes actually will kind of like combine these colors. Like if I'm wearing a red shirt and I don't have like a red lipstick that exactly matches it, I'll try to like, you know, concoct my own lip color to match the shirt. I'm definitely a firm believer in your lipstick matching your outfit, and also making sure your lipstick doesn't clash with your outfit, because that can happen. Then I do have these 2 really cute little lip products right here. They're lip shakers. They're by Lancome. They're a little bit more expensive, so I only have these 2. This one is in the shade Piece of Cake, and this one is in the shade Mangoes Wild. So you shake it up, and then you unscrew the lid, and you have the little applicator, which I really like. These are quite sheer, so it is kind of like a lip gloss, and it just makes me smile when I see it in my purse. It's such a cute packaging. So that's my makeup collection, makeup travel bag tips. I'd love to hear from you down in the comments. Do you have any favorite makeup brands or products, favorite things to wear when you you travel or when you're at Disney. Our trip is coming up in just a few weeks, so make sure you're following me on social media because I'm sure I will be posting live updates on my Instagram and Twitter and Snapchat and all that. I'll put them right here on the screen. The links are also down in the description. Whenever you travel, anticipation is half the fun. So I'm definitely having a fun time planning out the trip. I recently launched a Patreon campaign. I'm sharing new vlogs from our England and Ireland trip last summer every week there. But it's been really fun to chat with all the patrons about Disney stuff as well. I've been getting some ideas. I'm sure there are going to be a million new Disney vlogs I'm going to be posting here on YouTube after the trip, but I am also thinking about doing a couple just for Patreon. Thank you so much to you patrons for all your support and all of your great ideas. If you enjoy my channel and you'd like to help support my content, I hope you'll go over to my Patreon page and give it a look. It's patreon.com/bookishprincess. So that's about it for me today. I hope you all have a magical day, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye guys.